Hi everyone, let's have a look at the low time frame and micro scenarios and potential trading setup. Starting with my preferred scenario on the lower time frame, where this is a WXY and then a bigger A followed by a three-wave structure in this wave B, before then eventually a wave C to the downside. In this particular scenario, wave Y bounced perfectly in the target area for wave Y, which is between the 1 and the 1.236, taken from the high of 5 to the low of W to then the high of wave X. It just missed out on hitting the target box, which is usually not something I like, but because it did hit the target of wave Y, I can accept it. Then we're looking for upside in this scenario for a wave B, which has to be a three-wave structure in an expanding flat, with the most common target for wave B being between the 1.236 and the 1.38. Also nice confluence with the weekly naked point of control and the weekly over here. So that is interesting. The potential trading setup over here is the stop loss above the rare target for wave B, which is the 1.618, lettering the shorts in this area, then trading it to the downside in what should be an impulsive wave C and an expanding flat A, B, C to the downside. If you then look at the bearish scenario, which is an alternative scenario, we have a WXYXZ. Important for wave Y is that in a WXYXZ, wave Y should bounce at the 1-to-1, taken from the high of 5 to the low of W to the high of X, which has happened over here, so that is quite nice. And in this scenario, we will take the low of wave Y over here and then bounce somewhere for wave Z in the 1 to the 1.236, taken from the high of 5 to the low of W to then the high of this wave X. Now this is also the most common target for wave Z. Stop loss or the potential trading setup in this scenario is the stop loss below these lows, trading it then to the upside, where again the 30K region is a very important region. Now these lows are also very important because I do think that if price is going to go below these lows, we are ready for a drop to the downside to at least this target box over here, which starts at 24,850. If we then go to the micro bullish scenario, which is in line with my preferred count on the lower time frame, looking for the bounce over here of wave Y to eventually the upside towards the 30K area. Now in this scenario, we have a zigzag in the W over here, and then one was able to short these highs over here. If I go to the lower time frame, actually, we made a high, then we made lower highs, but we made higher highs on the CVD at this particular area, as can be seen over here. A lower high in price, but a higher high in the CVD. Bearish divergences, which gave the potential trading setup to the downside, with my main target being this wave X target box over here, which we have hit now by basically a couple of times. Then in my previous video, actually 2 videos ago, I was saying, hey, we got a double low over here. So I would be very, very interested for price to at least take these lows, which it did with a nice little wick. And this also gives the potential trading setup to the upside the moment price hit this target box here and then a couple of times here, lettering the longs in the area. Stop loss below this low, with the target then being the 30K area as well. Also important is that we have a triple top at 28.8K. We have a double top over here and this high, and that is just a magnet for price, in my opinion, to at least go to the upside. Are we going to see upside right now? Of course, we will have to wait and see, but this scenario so far looks pretty good. And also we have bullish divergences over here between the lows. So we made a higher low in price. This is where we bounced today, higher low in price, but on the CVDs, both of the lines, yellow and blue, we made lower lows, which is bullish divergences. So that is another reason why this scenario for me is currently the preferred scenario, targeting that triple top as a minimum, but then maybe even the 30K area. If we then go to the bearish scenario, in this, well, more bearish, I suppose, is that the wave Y low is made over here. We are still looking for upside towards the 30K area. But in this scenario, because this is a three-wave structure, it can be a WXY, but it can also be an ABC, because that is a 3-3-5 move. Now, I gotta say that if this is wave B, it starts to become pretty long, and it looks better as a wave X than a wave B, because if this is wave A and B tend to be around like the same time it takes to form the waves. So it doesn't really matter which high is wave A, but if we take it over here, we are currently already past the 1-to-1 of wave A, and the 1.618 is an important target, and for me would be a little bit like a max target, I suppose, but price then really has to come down. And if we actually go to this scenario, you can see the fib times, the WXY scenario, where this low over here, which can be the low of this wave X, has been made very nicely between the 1 and the 1.618 fib time, taken from the low to the high. So this is something I definitely prefer. But in this bearish scenario, we're looking for an A, then eventually a 3-wave B to the downside, hitting this target box that we basically missed by a hair. The target box being between 27,162 and 26,936 for eventually then a move to the upside in an impulsive wave C. So I hope this video was helpful or valuable to you. I'd like to thank you for watching and subscribing, and I will see you at the next one. Bye bye.